Okay, so I know it's been what, maybe 3 weeks since I've had my car, and so a few things that I had noticed and had to really get into it, kind of reverse engineer or really understand what someone else has done before I got it. So a few things I've come across. One is that I had to track down all the signals for the lights because the first goal is to get it registered here in California, or for my goal is to get it registered and then make my modifications. So the thing is got to get the lights and everything working, and then install the windshield. As you see, I took the windshield out. It was just taped in before, and so just got to get it legal. So tracking down all the wires and the signal would not. So this one has a Raptor Pro. So the Raptor Pro is basically going to be your Bluetooth push button signals. I'll show you what that looks like on the steering wheel. So that's what that looks like. So basically, you're going to have your headlights, signal lights, horn, and then other goodies here you can program for whatever you want. So this sends a Bluetooth signal to a box, and the converter box is here. Let me see if I can get you some light. All right, back in the game. So, and glad I didn't seal the windshield because it's easier access. So basically, this is your Bluetooth converter box. So then now, what happens is you have a positive signal that comes out with this box right here in the center. You see all the blue and red wires? Those wires then convert the positive to a negative or ground signal that goes out to the infinity box. Well, in doing that, kind of find out, because all the buttons were kind of working, but there was one, and these are so delicate. See if I can set this light up. There was one wire that was not connected. Ah, come on, let's give me a little attitude here. Get good at setting the lights. So this wire here had chafed or something and come loose. So happened, this one wire is what controls the right side signal light. So had to discover that. But in a project like this, having to, like I said, reverse engineer what somebody did, why they did it, and understand where I convert everything almost like streets or a highway for a signal. Like, where's the breakdown? And you got to follow it all the way through. We've got the shrouds and all the wires. Everything is black, the same colors, which makes it that much more difficult. So that was pretty tricky. And then going inside that box too, because I would really hate to, accidentally pull something away and then, oh man, that could be a nightmare. But that was found. So, and very important. Otherwise, I would have to rewire it, raw. But then the signal was coming from the Raptor Pro. Like that would have kind of been a nightmare. But in any case, found it. So going forward, we got my new horn. We didn't have a horn before, so I got a new horn. Got the solder kit right here, so we can solder those wires together. The other thing too, so this car didn't come with the front nose hinge kit. Basically, it just comes on and off. So having been down this road before and worked on my other project, there's a number of different hinges that I have. I got these billet ones. And then I also have these from where did I get these from? These are from a Volvo 870. So this hinge right here really has a huge shock on the back, right? And so these I thought about putting here, so that way it can raise up the clamshell normally, opposed to backwards, and then you can have true access to everything. So I might fabricate that in there. It also has, because these are the shocks right here for that. Those shocks are huge. I mean, when I say huge, they're big enough to support the weight, and then, but they're small enough. They don't take up that much space. I got other shocks down here too. Trust me, I've been down this path of improvising, and there's another piece that actually is a bracket that actually has an extension that comes down here on this particular hinge if you need it, depending on how you position it. So I've got those that I want to figure out how to put in. Also, we got a brake sensor. So that was one other thing that I didn't locate, or I don't have. I don't have a brake sensor. So got one. I think it's like 17 bucks. So we'll be able to put this on the tilt-in foot pedals down there and wire that up. So looking forward to getting that done. And lastly, the exhaust, which is a really big deal. The car sounded cool when you started it, right? And that's fine. However, the way this thing was set up, that doesn't make sense for the exhaust to feed into each other like that. And that's creating a significant amount of back pressure. I've never seen an exhaust that has an H-pipe where the exhaust literally has to come in and literally brake left or brake right. Then it goes down a pipe and then it literally has to brake left or brake right again. That doesn't flow at all. You wouldn't do that for a brake line. You wouldn't do that for anything. Everything is smooth. Just like when you see the headers come out, they come out and they flow a particular way. So I was like, I gotta change that. So the plan here is to basically offset the length. So the headers come off into this pipe. So what we're gonna do with the plan here is to literally offset this by 3 inches, about 4 or 5 inches or so. So I'm gonna take that section here and measure that out and figure out, well, how much space. I've already ordered the flanges, so that way we can offset this. And then when I reconnect this, then the exhaust obviously comes straight across. It has 2 mufflers for each side. This side comes out to the left, the other side goes out to the right, and then we'll have exhaust come around this area here and then out. But that should be almost like a temporary solution, because like I said, the end goal is supposed to be a twin turbo. So you know, that's just something just to get it street legal. The other option, not option, but the other detail that I got was the reverse signal adapter that goes on the car. So I'll be able to wire up the reverse lights so the car knows, or the trigger for when it's in reverse, we'll be able to send a signal out from the transaxle to the reverse lights, and then we'll be good to go. So again, this is all about getting it California legal, and obviously not blowing any valves or bending any valves, because you got all that back pressure coming into the motor and it's not free flowing. Plus you'd be killing horsepower like that, and that's a lot of work. Those welds are really nice. That's just a lot of work, but I just don't understand why somebody did that. That's not and I'm glad the car was never driven like that. This motor doesn't even, I don't think, have like a mile on it. It was just started to get started, and that was it. It was never driven. So I'm really happy about that. So anyway, that's the latest update. I hope to have that installed hopefully in the next couple of days, and I'll get you guys a startup for it so that way you can hear what it sounds like, and then kind of go from there. But that's where we are.